Yeah, I've never started a fire. Most people don't start fires in their home. Like, why are you talking about it like
it was an accident?
It's baby's first house fire.
Because it was.
Yeah, no, it was a fucking accident. It was a house fire.
Yeah, and I also saved the day. I put it out.
You put out the fire you started, dude. You don't get extra credit for that.
Yeah. Do you do a table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a table with chairs, obviously.
It's the table where everyone sits, stands
so
up.
Funny. I'm just like, no, we do chairs. Yeah, at a table. Was that your first question? That was the big first cue you were going to drop?
That was it.
Like, this one's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
So do you guys do a table when you do your podcast?
Do you or do you not fuck with chairs? This was basically the first question.
I mean, I do a chair. The guest stands. It's a power thing.
Right.
But I don't know in which direction it's a power thing. It's just weird.
They have to face away.
Usually it's a person who's above you. Has the power, but also it's like the person I didn't give a seat to, so it's disrespectful.
Right. And they have to just stand in the corner, just facing the corner.
Yeah, they have to wear a dunce cap. And then I ask them questions, and I ask them like this.
Yeah. What's the name of your show? Let's just plug it right off top.
Great. It's called Unsound Advice.
Unsound Advice.
Yeah, and I give advice that I am not especially qualified to give.
Is your name in the official title?
Unsound Advice with Lara Beitz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
that's
you go.
me. That's my name. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Isaac Abrams Show, everybody. I'm your host, Isaac Abrams. Today's very special guest, writer, comedian, producer, actor, philanthropist, voice actor, world dominator, Lara Beitz, everybody.
That's so funny. Hi, yeah, I'm Lara Beitz. I don't do most of those things.
Nobody does.
Much. Yeah. It's so great. Do you know Argus Hamilton?
Not personally, but I know who he is.
Oh my gosh, I love when he brings me on stage at the Comedy Store because he just like pulls credits out of his ass. Like, does not care. He's like, she's got specials on Netflix. I'm like, nope, don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But they don't have to know that.
Do you know Justin Foster?
Yeah.
I will bring him up as, you've seen this guy on NBC, CBS, HBO, and To Catch a Predator. Please welcome Justin Foster.
Funny. That's so funny.
Yeah.
He's great. I love him.
So here's the big question.
Okay.
Because your show is about giving advice.
Yeah.
What advice do you have about giving advice?
Wow, I actually have great advice about giving advice.
Yeah?
I'm so glad that you're asking me that. The best advice that I've gotten is to just speak from my own experience. Like, I avoid the phrases "you should," and actually that's the only phrase.
Okay.
So rather than like telling people what to do, I tell them what I've done in the most similar situation that I can think of. And whether it went well or badly.
Okay.
Or I tell them advice that I've received that's relevant to that.
How did you learn how to give advice?
12-step programs.
Okay.
So I've done like some work on codependency. And yeah, that was where it was like, just don't tell people what to do. Nobody ever wants to be told what to do. Even people who are asking for advice don't want to be told what to do. They just want to be given a perspective. Like, they want to be given extra information, something to consider. I do answer shopping. Like, if I'm going through a problem, I'll ask people I trust what they think. I still don't want to be told what to do. I just want to hear their thoughts.
Right. I'm mad at all of my friends right now.
Yeah, they're probably shitty. They probably give shitty advice.
Their
Most
advice
people
is,
do.
you should.
Yep. And a lot of people give advice. So yeah, I guess the second and equally important like thing is, I don't give advice to people who don't ask for it. And if I'm unsure of whether or not someone's asking for it, I will ask them if they're asking for it.
Right.
They'll be
Like, do you want a shoulder or
advice right? Do you want me to listen, or are you asking me for advice?
Yeah.
And honestly, most of the time, people will be like, I'm asking you for advice. Like, I'm asking you what you think I should do.
But every once in a while, people are like, I'm just trying to air this shit out.
Yeah,
and
and
like,
usually
that's cool too.
Usually they don't even know. Like, I find that a lot of people haven't even asked themselves that question.
Right.
And then when you ask it, they'll be like, yeah, I think I'm just venting. Yeah. And it's like, all right.
Yeah.
We're doing a shitty job.
You suck at this.
Well, that sucks, because man, did I have some advice to tell you.
Really could have solved your whole life.
I hear you venting, but I know what you should do.
Yep.
But if you're not asking, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, Yeah, my last boyfriend, I probably shouldn't even be talking shit, but that's
Is this
never
the beach
stopped me.
DJ?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Dude, he gave me so much unsolicited advice, and it drove me nuts because it was like career advice, and a lot of it, in my humble opinion, was terrible advice. And I'm just like, I'm not asking. And it wouldn't even be when I was venting. It would be like, you should do this. You should text that person, stay in front of them. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to ask Joe Rogan for a favor. Like, I've never done that. I know how he feels about that. You don't know him.
Yeah.
I know him. Like, just let me handle my own shit.
Yeah. So unsolicited, you guys be like making dinner.
Totally
and,
unsolicited.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah. And we even, I mean, I can't tell you how many times we talked about it. I've been reading about relationships lately, and one thing I read is that it's like, I don't know, in the 60s or 70s or 80% of couples' issues are unsolvable, and they never solve them. And it's just a matter of like, if you can live with it, how big the issue is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was one where we never solved it. We never saw eye to eye. I very much believe in like not giving unsolicited advice. And I would ask him not to give it because I'm like, then it turns into a situation where like, now you're pissed I didn't take your advice.
Yeah.
But I didn't even ask you for your advice.
Right. You're just setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
Yeah.
And like my opinion is that like even if someone gives you advice, that doesn't obligate you to take it. But also, I don't know. I'm seeing someone now who gives me advice that I really like, and I don't always ask for it, but I often take it. But it's good advice, and it's someone who like knows about comedy.
Yeah.
You know? So it's not just someone who's completely flying blind telling me what they think I should do because they've listened to Joe Rogan's podcast before.
Yeah. I think it's interesting how we assign value to different people's advice in with our like level of respect and love for different people.
Yeah.
Like you could look at somebody and their shit does not stink, and even though they tell you terrible shit, you're like, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
And then someone else could say the same words, but they're either lower in your ranking or whatever, and you're like, you need to shut the fuck up and never talk to me ever again.
But it's justified in this instance because the advice
Totally.
it's good advice. It's like, oh, I would put this part of the joke here. And I'm like, yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Or like, I would focus on that. I think that that's like your whatever, you know. And it's just good advice. It's stuff where it's like, I had not thought about it that way. If I had, I would have done that.
Yeah. I have a comedian that's 12 years younger than me, but way like I work for him.
Right.
And then like we'll just be riffing between shows or whatever, and he'll just throw something else out. He won't be like, it should be this.
Yeah.
We'll just have this back and forth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's better. Can I have
Yeah,
it? He's like, of course you can have that. I didn't say it out loud so you couldn't have it.
Yeah, 100%.
But he's very cool with the way, I mean, he's way more mature than he should be for 31 or 2 years old. But
yeah, and that's how it is with this person. It's like it's a two-way street. So like I also make suggestions, we share tags, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we take it or leave it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, can we talk about dating for a little bit?
Yeah, I would love to.
Because I have not met a female identifying comedian
Female identifying, hilarious.
that hasn't given up on dating comics.
That has not given up
Like
on dating
every
comics.
woman comic that I know has been like, I'll never fucking date another comic again in my life.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, and I'm prepared to learn that lesson.
Cool.
But I haven't learned it yet. And I've dated pretty much like one male comic per city I've lived in. No, that's not true. So I lived in Milwaukee first. I dated one or two there, and then I lived in Chicago. I dated one there, and one and a half in Milwaukee, 1.5 in Chicago.
It was one and a
You know what I'm talking about. You know
Okay.
what I mean? A relationship and then a situation.
situationship.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And then here I've dated a few. Yeah.
Not enough to go, no more comics.
Not enough to go no more comics.
Yeah.
And I mean enough to be like, well, I'm not going to date that guy again.
Again.
But also
yeah.
it's been pretty cool because like, so the first two that I dated have just kind of, you know, God knows what happened to them. Haven't seen them.
They just ghosted.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened to him.
So-
No, they didn't ghost me, but I don't know what happened to him. I never see him around.
Oh, like
So-
they didn't quit doing comedy, but they quit doing comedy.
I don't know what they're doing. Couldn't care less. But
Right.
they're not in my space, you know.
Right.
I don't have to see them around.
Cool.
And that's all that really matters. I mean, I have I have seen them around, but it's nothing. And also, stuff loses its energy after a while. Like if I do see them, I don't care. Like it just doesn't pack a punch anymore. So
someone
like,
that used to really bother you if you ran into them is now
right. Those
whatever.
feelings just go away.
Yeah. I'm in the process of landing the plane of getting out of something, which is both her decision one week and my decision the next week, and who knows what's going on.
Totally.
But the whole thing for me was like when I see her, we both live in a small town. It's Playa del Rey, next to the airport. Like one road in, one road out. Like there's 3 bars.
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, do you not live in LA, or where did you come from that this feels like a small town to you?
I had to clarify that, but I also have said that I live in Playa 1,000 times on this show, which you haven't heard or been on yet. So I have to balance the whole, like, what does the listener know and what do I need to tell you this story?
Do you love that I just didn't even ask? I just was like, oh, that's a weird thing to say.
No, but I saw the thing in your eye, and then I realized that I said it weird. It's like, I'm from...
I was like, oh, you live in a small town?
Yeah,
Okay.
I flew in for this.
I just tracked it. I'm not here to correct anybody. You know?
That's cool.
I was like, well, it's a big city to me.
Well, much like no one ever wanting to take advice or be told what to do, where was I going with that? Oh, everyone hates to be corrected.
Yeah.
Especially if you're an embellisher and you're telling a story and they're like, that's not how long Obama was in office. You're like, it's a fucking joke. Calm down.
Dude, and what's the fucking point? Like, I'll be talking to someone and they like mix up their words or whatever, and then they correct it, and I'm just like, I knew what you meant, man. I wasn't gonna fuck you up about it.
But some people are the word
Don't
police.
you mean it was, or
Yeah.
I don't know, but whatever. It's like if someone like switches 2 words around and you can decode it, then just crack the code and let them finish their fucking sentence.
Yeah, but some people will never let you get away with it. And like, no, that's not the facts. The facts are this, and it's like, do you feel better?
Yeah.
Which one of us feels better?
One thing that drives me nuts is like, well, and I mean, even like online, if someone uses like the wrong your or whatever, and someone feels the need to correct them, and then like they've won the argument because obviously you're stupid, it makes me so mad because it's like people with dyslexia have like a hell of a time with that. Probably never gonna get it, and it doesn't mean that they're stupid at all. Like some of the smartest people I know are dyslexic and have a hard time with that shit. But it's like, did you hear what they said though? Did you know what they meant? And can you? I think it takes such a more, I think it's a way smarter response to like, listen to the point.
Yeah.
What did you hear? Is that all you got from it? You didn't see an apostrophe, and so that was where your brain stopped? Because then you're a fucking idiot.
Right. Oh, I am that idiot.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You're just done?
You lose me. The only comments that I get on my clips are like small dudes that hate on like anything a woman is saying on Facebook.
Yeah.
So if they come on and they spell "your" wrong and they're like, yeah, no, I'm like, okay, cool, bro. Like,
Yeah.
You don't have to be an internet troll. It is up to you to make the effort to leave a comment on a video. And if you're gonna say dumb man hate, like woman hating shit, and then you're gonna spell it wrong, it only helps the algorithm if I light you up about it.
Right.
Because that's another comment. Then he's mad. Then he's gonna say something else.
Yeah.
Well, you do, and then I'm like, okay, and it just spirals.
Yeah.
So I'm almost at the post and ghost phase where I won't, but I need the engagement, so I have to light them up for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I go back and forth. I was responding to all of my comments, and I was being nice to everybody, and that like really tickled me because it drives people insane. Insane. And I was making sure not to be like sarcastically nice. I was just being like, oh, I'll try to be funnier in the future.
Yeah.
Thanks for commenting. You know, and people just like, they can't
handle it.
Or it's funny. One guy like said I was gaining weight or whatever, and I was like, "Thank you for holding me accountable." And then I was like, "Wait, did you just still say I was a 5?" I was like, "Are you attracted to me?" And he was like, "Yeah, honestly, I am, but that doesn't mean anything. Like guys will line up around the block for 4s." And I'm just like, "Are we flirting right now?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "This is totally just you want to fuck me, and you don't think I would fuck you." It's so
Insecurity.
funny. Like
just
it's
say
what it
it
boils down to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, is it the comment that I get on just everything is like, just once I want to hear a female comic who's not talking about sex. And if it's a clip where I'm not talking about sex, then they're like, it's so great to finally hear a female comic who's not talking about sex. And it's like, does it bother you that I'm talking about sex, or does it bother you that I'm not having sex with you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it bother you that you're not having sex?
Ever.
Also, like, comics just repeat shit that gets a laugh. So if people would laugh at my jokes that I've attempted to write about, like, politics and my thoughts on things that matter, I would have told them again. But that's never happened. Did I write a bit on the Electoral College? Absolutely. Did I write a bit about ice skating with my sister? I certainly did. Did anybody laugh? They didn't. Okay? Like, I did my fucking best, dude. But then when I was like, balls look like a chicken nugget that got kicked under the fridge, and people were like, ah! So it's like, yeah, all right, fine, I'll fucking close on it for 10 years. What do you want from me?
Is that your actual closer? Because that was very funny.
No, it's not my closer, but it is like a bit that got me passed at the Comedy Store.
I did tune out a little bit when you said politics. I kind of like my eyes rolled back in my head a little bit, but as soon as
no
you
one
said
wants
balls,
it. They don't have to want it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm there to like make people laugh and lighten their day up and let them forget about the shit that matters sometimes. And there are other comics that, you know, like do jokes that are about politics and they're really funny and people really like it, and that's great. I just haven't. That's not what I've done.
Are you hoping to get on like a political commentary television show?
Yeah.
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 Just you and Bill Maher.
No, I would love to avoid controversy for the rest of my life. Like, it's just not something that I want. I don't want to argue with people. And so that's why it's like, it's such a tough thing for me now that social media is king, and like we have to post our stuff and have to be so open to hearing everybody's thoughts about it. Because I found out that everything is controversial. Like, I have a bit about Miss Hannigan's character in the movie Annie, and people got mad about that, said I was advocating child abuse.
Oh, well.
It's just wild.
I mean,
like,
clearly.
People just can't.
Yeah.
They just get so mad about absolutely anything. And I can't tell you how many times I've been like, well, I didn't expect this clip to be controversial, but that was my mistake, because everything is.
Yeah, that actually gives me a lot of hope, because I post a lot of things that I don't think are very controversial, but maybe they just haven't hit the right snowflakes yet. They just need to get under the wrong skin.
Or maybe, and I hate to say it, maybe it's different for women.
Oh, yeah, well, that's clearly something I hadn't considered being a man.
Yeah. People can detect an opinion, and they just don't want me to have one, you know? Don't use this as the clip. I won't. I don't want to post it.
You want me to cut this part out?
No, I don't want you to cut it out, but I don't want us to lead with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I really want to lead with it.
I hesitate to even ever say that there's a difference between how men are treated and how women are treated. And honestly, I think that just everybody comes from their own perspective. I think every group of people thinks that they have it the hardest, with many exceptions, many individual exceptions. I know so many white men who are just like, well, if a man said that, then it would be bad. And it's like, yeah, if a man says that, it is bad. If I say it, though, you're shitting on it right now, too.
Right.
You're saying that if a man said he couldn't say it, that is you criticizing what I'm saying. That is me not getting away with it.
In a situation where if anyone said it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as a white straight male that grew up with tons of money, and my father bought me all this stuff.
Really? That's
I can
awesome.
relate. Yeah.
Can I have some stuff? Or?
Yeah. What? We have a gift bag for you on the way out. You grab a camera or two.
Is it full of money?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's fake prop money.
Oh, well.
But you can exchange it for real money.
I don't think you can.
You could try.
But why would I try something I can't do?
Well, you're never going to get it with that attitude.
I can't do this.
For real?
No, I'm fine.
Would you tell me
I'm
if you...
feeling this inch of cold brew
okay.
that I had, though.
But if you were uncomfortable or not having fun, would you tell me? Okay. No.
Of course not. What the fuck would my problem be if I would tell you that?
I don't know.
You know how unprofessional it would be for me to be like, I'm not having a good time right now.
I can't tell you how many people have told me that.
Really?
Well, just that, catch them on an off day, low energy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's people, it's always people that you think are going to walk in bouncing off the walls that you're like, oh, I don't have to prep for this whatsoever.
Yeah, I always forget that. Someone reminded me of that the other night because someone new hosted for me. I hadn't met him before. And yeah, I like said something that was like sarcastic. I was super low energy. It was my fault, 100%. But he was just like, yeah, all I'd had to go on was like your stand up and you're so light and silly. And so I was like, oh, she's going to be like so sweet. And then And then he was like, you just are not that character. Like, you're just not that person. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I am, but not at all times. I'm not always on. I think people are fucking annoying if they're always on.
It's rough to be always on especially if you feel like you have to be always on. But there's a couple of people that have developed this like outward persona, and that's got to be exhausting because you got to be that person on podcasts and morning radio and for an hour a night on stage. It's like, what if you just don't want to be that thing you created for a minute?
Yeah. I've done meet and greets with people after shows before where they're just like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? Is something wrong? Or they're looking at me weird and I'm like, oh no, I'm just like not a cartoon.
Right.
I'm just off stage right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't share this story and I might have to cut it out, but when we were working on a movie, I don't know why I just said a movie. We were working on Jumanji 2.
Cool.
We were doing pickups and stuff. And Jack Black is a perfect example of like, cameras on, cameras off. Because he has to save it. It's like he builds it up and then it's like, we're rolling and he just...
Yeah.
But as soon as it's a cut, he's like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
he would be so annoying if he was like that socially.
Right. Or if he had
so annoying.
Inch of cold brew or something.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's funny because this is actually, it's not making me more tired, but it's somehow.
Yeah. You have to push through it. You got to drink another inch. And then you're like, we jump in, we a trampoline in here somewhere.
My mouth is still like acidically salivating or whatever. It's having some kind of reaction.
Yeah. That'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to put like just a little bit of cream in it to cut it. Or it's like now it's an ASMR podcast, but. Oh, you're not into? Nope.
Sorry.
Yep. You're like, get me the fuck out of here.
I didn't mean to have that reaction to it, but I.
No, everybody. Yeah, I didn't mean to shake my ice in the fucking. Hey, you like that? Do you like annoying sounds in your ears that have been amplified?
Yeah, I'm like, no thanks.
What made you decide to do this new podcast? Were you just so full of advice that you were like, everybody's got to hear it?
No, not at all. So the producer is JP Buck, who booked Conan for a long time. And Pete Holmes was talking to him, and JP was talking about wanting to launch like a podcast network. And Pete used to bring me on the road with him. And he told him, he was like, you have to do one with Lara Beitz. He was like, she gives the best advice. It's easier for me to say this without it being me saying it. I mean, this was just a very nice thing of him to say.
Yeah.
And so he recommended me. And then JP and I met up and had coffee and clicked. And that was how it started. I mean, honestly, it was just Pete's idea.
Wow.
And then we ran with it. I hadn't thought to have a podcast where I give advice before.
Yeah. And how do you get it? Like, do people email? Do they mail it? Because, Rory Scovel has people that like handwrite letters and send them in. Like,
no, people email usually. I want them to do voice messages. I think it's fun when we have like different voices on. And it personalizes it, and you also just get more of like a sense of the person. But yeah, mostly people just email. Do
you guys have a 800 number?
No, but I mean, you can like
email
do a voice memo with your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the shows that I produce outside of this show, I got him an 800 number, but it's not 1-800, it's like 833. So I think people calling the wrong number, but it's cute. It's like got his name in it and stuff. And we were like blasting it all over his socials.
Yeah.
3 people called it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's so funny because as you were saying that, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I should do that. And then you were like, it didn't work.
Well, it hadn't occurred to me that you just email me a voice message. It just seems like that's an extra step than just calling. But do you think it would be intimidating, like if you're calling a number, like even though you know it's just a voicemail, that someone might answer it?
I think people just don't like making calls anymore. And it's so weird because I love talking on the phone.
Me too.
Yeah.
I could talk on the phone. I think that's one of the reasons why, we're in the podcasting space. I just love talking to people.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And not everybody can do it.
Yeah, and texting is so dangerous. Like, you can make jokes over the phone. I've learned that you have to be so careful when you're texting.
But now you can erase.
Yeah.
Edit.
People can see that you edited. Can you erase a text? You can unsend it? Can you show me how?
Yeah. I think so. I could be wrong.
I tried to unsend a text today and could not figure out how to do that.
Let's see here.
And I know that it says like so-and-so unsent a message, but I'm like, well, fuck it. At least I don't see the message.
All right. This is a text between me and Monterey Martinez, the booking producer for this show. I'm going to attempt. Nope. That's going to want to make an event. I'm going to attempt more and delete message.
Yeah, but that just deletes it from you being able to see it.
It takes it off her side too.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh,
dude.
no.
It just deletes it from your thing.
Well, that is not how I thought that worked at all.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I thought I would just be like, well, you're never going to remember this part of our conversation.
No.
Oh. Well, I stand corrected then.
Did I just change your life?
No, I don't unsend a lot of texts.
Yeah.
And my problem is that I'm very sarcastic. So people read my texts in my voice. Mm-hmm. And I get "fuck you, buddy" a lot, and I'm just joking.
Yeah.
So I don't like texting.
Yeah, I've learned to just not. I try to just not. Because usually the alarm for me is when I'm like, will they get it? Yeah, they'll know I'm kidding. And then I'm like, you can't send that. Mm-mm. You can't, because they don't. They almost never do.
Yeah.
Even people who are really close to me.
They never get it.
No. I don't want to say they never get it, but it's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
That I've learned not to take.
I hate getting texts also. I think text should be like, can you meet me at 6:30? It should be for one-word answers.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like, how do you feel about the geo-economical political situation in America today? Like, I don't want to have a conversation with you. My thumbs are going to hurt.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we agree on everything.
I mean, we haven't tackled that many things.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
How's that coffee doing?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I'm miserable. And
really?
I'm going to keep drinking it. Yeah.
But like,
it has made my body feel terrible. I feel awful.
Do you have the shakies?
I feel sick. I'm panicking. I just don't feel good.
Okay.
I don't know why my mouth is salivating so much.
Do you need some water?
No, I'm going to keep drinking the coffee.
Oh.
I'm going to keep drinking it.
I
don't know why I do this.
Do you do this often with caffeine?
No, but
do you do this with other drugs?
No, I think that when I do it with caffeine, it's because I don't do it with other drugs. But like, I am an addict. Like, I'm predisposed to that. Like, get more and more fucked up.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna ride it. I'm just gonna see how far I can take this.
Yeah, I've done that with substances before.
Yeah.
And today just feels like we're going for it with caffeine.
I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am.
Do you remember the last time you did it with caffeine?
Yeah, I did it with Mark Maron. We were in like Louisville or something, and we went to a coffee shop, and it was the same thing where I was like, this is tar, and I'm going to get fucked up. And I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Did you crash? Was it early enough in the day that you crashed before the show?
That I don't recall. I can't really crash before a show. I'm sure I crashed after.
Yeah.
Because I think I was tired anyway, or I wouldn't have gone for that second cup.
Yeah.
But the adrenaline before a show.
Wow.
Like, I just can't.
I'm totally opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't, like, get high before a show?
I get, like, my whole body feels like it's drained of energy, and I'm just kind of a...
Before a show?
Yeah. Before I go on stage, I'm like, ugh, I don't have anything to give these people right now.
I've never heard anybody say that before.
Mm-hmm.
What about when you're on?
When I'm on stage, I feel great. As soon as I step out, it's all good.
Huh.
I've also done comedy less than 400 times, so I'm not really great at it yet.
Such a crazy number to...
It's also less than 200, but less than 400 sounded better.
Less than 400 made no sense to me, because I'm like, that's so many times to have remotely like estimated or kept track of.
Yeah, well, some people know exactly how many times they've been on stage. I think that's weird.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Like, some people know per year. They have it written out. Like, Dean Del Rey will tell you how many times per year he's been on stage every year.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me when people are like, this is my anniversary of starting comedy. I'm like, you know the date?
Yeah.
I don't even know the month I started comedy.
I love it when people are like, how long have you been doing it? I'm like, that doesn't matter. And they're like, no, if you haven't been doing it 1,500 years, you're never going to get good at it. I'm like, well, I guess we'll find out.
That's so funny because I was just talking to someone about how like we don't like asking people how long they've been doing it because it sounds like you're trying to judge the person.
That's exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
How much respect do I owe you?
Right.
By the number of you. I'm just going to start telling people 25 years.
It's asking how good are you?
Yeah.
If you've seen the person's set,
Yeah.
it's like how good are you?
Well, if you've seen their set, you shouldn't have to ask them how many years. You should be able to tell how many years they've been in it by watching their comedy.
Nah.
No?
No. I know people who have been doing it, I don't know, like 6-7 years, and they're great. And I know people who have been doing it like 15 years, and I'm like, but how often?
Right.
For 15 years.
That's a lot.
Yeah, because this is not. I'm not seeing 15 years worth of work up there. Yeah.
Pivoting real quick, because we're gonna just.
Let's do it.
Do you have any foods that you hate? You got any food allergies?
I have so many foods that I don't eat.
Don't eat, but would if you like wanted to?
Yeah.
Or like, do you have like fuck this food? What's your first thing that comes to your mind when you're like, I'll never touch that?
If we're talking about the way things taste and not like from a health perspective,
Right. All taste.
Peanut butter and chocolate mixed together.
The two best flavors on the planet? No.
Like Reese's peanut butter cups. Absolutely.
Wow.
If someone would like open one in the same like car as me. Oh.
Do you have a peanut allergy?
No, but I got real sick one Easter, and I think I probably smelled it or something.
Ate too many Cadbury bunnies?
No, I got sick before I got my Easter basket.
Oh, like sick. Not sick from eating too much candy.
No, I remember seeing my Easter basket like on the other side of the room and just not being able to eat it. Yeah, I got real sick as a little kid.
Wow.
Like
stuck with you.
Like the sickest I maybe have ever been in my life.
Before the sickness, were you just dunking chocolate bars into peanut butter?
No, dude, I'm saying I didn't get that. Oh, I see what you mean. You mean not that day, but in life?
No, yeah. Did you enjoy
100%.
it previously?
Yeah, I used to like them.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is there something else that you ate as a kid or didn't eat as a kid that you enjoy now? Like I hated Brussels sprouts growing up. I fucking love Brussels sprouts now.
Brussels sprouts was the first food that popped into my head when you asked me that, but I never ate Brussels sprouts when I was little. I never ate them until I was an adult.
Yeah, we didn't really have them that much, but I always saw it on television, so I was like, oh.
You thought you were supposed to hate them.
Supposed to hate. I'm programmed to hate these.
They're good.
I was programmed for hate.
I mean, like, put shit on them, you know.
Yeah, that's what they do now.
Put shit on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to put shit on everything.
I can't remember anything that I didn't like as a kid. I remember my mom would make these, like, fish burgers that I didn't like. They're just like, frozen. She would heat them up. Mm-hmm. And I remember I always complained about them, but I also always ate them. But that was just like the way it was in my house. We didn't have any of this. Like, what are you in the mood for?
Right.
It was just like, this is what's for dinner. Eat your dinner.
Yeah.
And I did 100% of the time.
Because it was that or nothing.
Yeah.
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 Now, I've watched some of my friends that are raising children in Los Angeles be like, honey, what do you want for dinner? And then they're like, I want filet mignon. I'm like, are you going to slap this kid? Or like... Then they'll give it to him.
I see on Instagram, and I used to see it more. Thankfully, I don't see as much parenting stuff. I'm not a parent. Mm-hmm. But I see stuff about like, this is how to help your kid have a good relationship with food. And it's like, put safe food on the plates. So if your kid likes like bread or whatever, have that, present all foods equally, let your kid eat what they want to eat and leave what they want to leave. And maybe that's the best thing. I don't fucking know. I'm not an expert. But there's a lot of stuff about kids who are like picky eaters, and it's like, give them something that they will eat. And I was never a picky eater. I was always an overeater. Like I always just wanted to eat the most food that I could. Mm-hmm. So far be it for me to like, you know, I've never had the experience of like, my kid will not eat. Because some people it is like, yeah, you can say this is what we're having, it's this or nothing, but the kid will choose nothing, like night after night. And I don't know what it's like to be like, oh shit, I have to worry about like my kid's health and like brain development because they're not eating enough fat or whatever.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But there also is the other part of me that wants to be like, man, fuck that kid.
Right. Like at a certain point,
you can't have chicken nuggets every fucking night.
Right.
And if your kid gets that, if they don't eat the food that you're presenting first, then like, yeah, that's why they're not eating it. They're just having a tantrum. But yeah.
Right. If you reward that behavior and eventually if they hold out long enough, you're like, fine, you can have ice cream for dinner every night. Then like they're going to win.
Right. Or peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Is peanut butter and jelly bad for you? It's not. I know it's not good for you, but is it bad?
peanut butter is classified as a fat and not a protein source. Like people think of nuts as like giving you a hit of protein. You have to eat it's I mean, yes, there's protein in it, but there's so little protein in it compared to how much fat is in it that it's not the right proportion of like nutrients.
Yeah.
And yeah, kids need more fat, I think. Everybody needs some fat, but like I don't know, it's not jelly is sugar. It's not fruit.
Right.
You know.
I did not know that people needed fat until I watched that show Alone, where 10 people go out in the woods and they try and survive by themselves. Most of them tap out because they're not eating enough fat.
Really?
Yeah. So like the people that are able to catch like bigger animals that have like marrow and like the fat of the animal, like people who are only eating fish are just tapping out super fast.
No shit.
Because there's not enough fat in it.
Some fish has a lot of fat in it.
Some, yeah.
Yeah.
But like the people that are like not eating enough meat or not catching enough animals, they're just like eating vegetables or like not eating enough.
Yeah.
They tap out first.
Yeah. That I didn't know that, but I did know that like fat is a necessary nutrient and you need more of it than I thought that you did every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on a meal plan that was given to me by a dietitian, and it has me eating like about 15 grams of fat with lunch and dinner and like 10 grams with breakfast.
Okay. I don't know how much I am consuming. I was on a steak kick this summer. I was eating steak like 4 or 5 times a week.
That sounds good.
Yeah, because I'm new into my fitness journey, which no one can tell because I wear the same shit every day. And I've only think over the last 8 months that I've been riding my bike for an hour every morning, I think I've probably only lost 10 or 15 pounds.
That's a lot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
From just riding your bike? Yeah.
Yeah, for an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lifting weights too. I'm not just riding my bike. I'm not lifting weights while I'm riding my bike. I do that first.
But is that the only change you've made is exercise? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of weight to lose.
Okay, maybe I'm overestimating it then.
I think it's so much easier for men that it pisses me off so much every time I hear.
Oh, it's noon. Sorry. That's the studio clock going off at noon. Let me hit that button real quick. Do you have an untapped advice bucket? Like, no one's ever asked you about this, but you're kind of like, oh, I really want to give advice about this.
No.
Okay.
Sorry. Well, I mean, fuck. You were like, I have a really great question.
I blew it up too much.
Tell me something you've never told anybody. No, I don't have anything that no one's ever asked me about that I have great advice on.
I definitely gave myself too much credit for that question.
I mean, there are just so many. It's like health and fitness, relationships. Mm-hmm. I don't know, boundaries, but that's relationships.
Have you ever kicked anything that's like, this is a dumb question? Do you ever just be like, don't even want to answer that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been, I don't know.
Sorry. My caffeine also affecting me a little bit today.
Yeah.
So might need a little editing.
Yeah, I know. From when you kicked in the door a moment ago.
Yeah.
I was like, he was not kidding. He gets fucked up on decaf.
It's there. There's still caffeine in decaf.
Yeah, I know, but it's
some people don't. Some people are like, oh,
such a small amount.
It's enough for me.
Yeah, I see that.
It's doing the job.
You kicked the door in and then yelled it into the mic.
Yeah, we're podcasting.
And then you were like, I have the best thing ever to say. And then it was something where I was like, I have nothing to say to that.
It was admittedly
the best question ever.
The best, worst question of all time.
And I was like, sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, that I will alleviate that from this episode. As to not make either of us, and most specifically me, not look silly.
Okay.
Can we go back to foods we hate?
Sure.
Because I am not a white condiment person. I don't like sour cream, blue cheese, ranch. Or did I say sour cream? I said sour cream.
Yeah.
Those things.
Mayonnaise were you wanting to say that?
I was, but I will
saw
eat
you
mayonnaise.
looking for it.
I was searching all around.
Yeah.
And you found it.
Yeah.
You're a mayonnaise finder.
Mm-hmm. It was my first one I thought of.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Do you, other than peanut butter chocolate combos, do you have condiments that you don't like?
No. I mean, I have condiments I don't care about. Like ketchup, I don't care.
Not even with there's no fry interaction?
I don't eat fries.
Oh. If someone like kidnapped you and took you to a country where people get kidnapped and they like threatened your life and said, you have to eat this fry,
Yeah, fucking obviously.
would you eat ketchup with it?
I mean, if I had a gun to my head.
No, but the ketchup is optional.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be like, what will taste good with this?
I'm sorry.
If I'm eating it to avoid fucking death.
Okay.
Yeah. I would eat ranch on it if it was like really
Open preference.
Yeah.
We're going ranch.
Yeah.
Are you ranch everything? You know?
I no longer do ranch everything because I had a ranch everything body for a while, and there are consequences to ranch everything. I used to dip like pizza in ranch. It got real off the rails, and
I can smell that.
there's a price to be paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can too. I can taste it too, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I want to like ranch because the look on people's face when they dip things in ranch, I've never experienced love like that.
It's so good.
Does ranch have, and stop me if you don't know the answer to this question, but it feels like you might.
I bet I do.
Are ranch and Thousand Island in the same calorie or ballpark for?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah, Thousand Island I think has more sugar in it. Thousand Island is great too.
It's so good. And people are like, that's got white stuff in it. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that
really
you like that.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is so good.
It is the best. What's your favorite flavor on anything? Like,
I don't know. No one's ever asked me that. But now that we're talking about ranch, I'm like, it's pretty fucking good.
so if there was ranch bubblegum.
Gross. What? God
Okay.
damn it, Isaac.
Sorry, but I'm thinking favorite flavors.
Every time I'm like, I'm going to get into a groove with this conversation, you ask me something like, what if there was ranch bubblegum? And I'm like, how do I not just give that a hard no? Like, I don't want to feel like a dick, but it's like, no, I wouldn't fucking eat that.
Right, but okay, you're right.
No one wants a savory gum. That's why they don't exist.
Savory. I hadn't thought about it in those terms. So
Yeah.
it's all sweets for gums.
Yes.
So they have sours? They have sour gums?
But that isn't savory. Savory is like chicken flavored gum, like popcorn flavored gum.
You're telling me that there aren't people in the world. I guess we should just keep it to us. We shouldn't assume people outside this room would want chicken gum.
If they wanted it, they'd have it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they would pair it with the ranch gum.
That's the kind of thing where it's like you would try it maybe for the novelty of it, but like, no one wants that. No one wants that. It's like the buttered popcorn Jelly Bellies.
Oh.
No one likes them.
No. There's a couple of Jelly Bellies that are sneakily not what they say they are.
Like what?
I feel like a lot of them taste more like that butter than... They're like, oh, this one is roller skates or whatever, but it's the popcorn one, which I love popcorn. That's how I almost burned my house down last week. I was making popcorn, and I had a fire, and I put the fire out.
How were you making the popcorn?
I put the popcorn maker on the stove.
God damn it, Isaac.
Because the stove has an outlet next to it.
Should the clip for this week just be a compilation of me saying, God damn it, Isaac?
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm going to edit
But
this.
you keep saying crazy shit to me.
It's true stuff.
I know. I mean, I asked. I guess when I asked, how did you almost burn your house down making popcorn, I wasn't expecting it to be like, oh, I put the bag in the microwave. I don't
own a microwave. I don't believe in microwaves.
Well, start to fucking believe in them, dude. Because you don't seem to know how to handle the rest of a kitchen.
This was my first fire, and I'm 43.
Who cares? I've never had a fire, and don't cut that out. It's nobody's business but mine.
What, the fire part?
No, my age.
I'll bleep it.
It's Hollywood. Yeah.
I'll just put 21 under.
Bleep it and cover my mouth up.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never started a fire. Most people don't start fires in their home. Like, why are you talking about it like
it was an accident?
It's baby's first house fire.
Because it was.
Yeah, no shit. It was a fucking accident. It was a house fire.
Yeah. And I also saved the day. I put it out.
You put out the fire you started, dude. You don't get extra credit for that. What are you talking about?
Okay.
God damn it, Isaac.
Listen, this is my first one.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. You have to stop saying that. That's not... You have to stop saying that.
Are
it's
you
not
jealous?
Impressive. No, I'm not fucking jealous.
You're a zero fire person.
Yeah.
I'm a one fire
Most
guy.
people are zero fire people.
Not firefighters.
Oh my God. They don't, firefighters don't start the fires, they fight, right?
I did not
Oh my God.
fully grasp that. I feel like I'm upsetting you.
Yeah. From me shouting? Yeah. You are.
Okay.
You're saying ridiculous things.
This is one of those ridiculous shows.
And also, it's not a thing where it's like, oh, fuck, how do I even begin? It's not a thing where it's like, is that a vertical mail slot? I can't with this situation right now. You're like, it's my first fire I've started. I'm 43. What sticks out to me is like, you're starting a fire making popcorn and you're 43. Like, you should know by now how to not start a fire.
It was my first inside fire. I've started a lot of outside fires.
On purpose, though.
Yeah.
Contained fires.
Yeah, it's my first accidental inside fire.
That's completely different. That's not what we're talking about. That has no place in this conversation.
Okay, I was just quantifying that I'm a fire starter.
Completely irrelevant.
Okay.
Completely irrelevant.
Okay. Do you want to know how the rest of it went down?
I guess.
I know you don't, but you kind of do.
No, do you know what I was just thinking? I was thinking I'm about to vomit cold brew up onto my chest. I'm so sick from this coffee.
Oh.
I will not be finishing it.
Do you?
Not only will I not be finishing it, I don't think anyone should ever order cold brew from the Coffee Bean. Is that what the place was?
It is. It's right downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uncool.
Are you more of a Starbucks cold bean, cold brew?
Yeah. I mean, Starbucks cold brew is not in the same category as what I'm drinking right now.
Because theirs is like nitro. It's got like a fizziness to it.
It's nothing like this.
Right. That'll fuel a nuclear powered warhead craft.
It's so dangerous that I'm like a little bit pissed that they make it like that.
Okay. Should we stop? Are you feeling unwell?
I almost think we should.
Okay.
How long have we been going? Did I give you enough?
Sure. We did 42 and then we just did another 10. That's fine.
Oh, we did 42 plus 10?
Yeah.
So we did 52?
Yeah.
Is that cool for you?
I'll cut it down to like 30. It's great.
Okay, great.
I'm more concerned that you.
I really don't feel well.
Yeah. I don't want you to do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah, I really don't feel well.
That'll be the clip.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we got it right at the end. How was this for you? I don't feel good. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Laura, thanks for coming.
I'm sick to my stomach. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Sorry it turned out like this.
It's okay.
This show's a piece of shit.